Grab a beer and pull up a chair. Welcome to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. All right. Welcome back to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. Today, Jim and I is kind of an impromptu podcast. Jim, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, we're on a different location.
We're in a different location, so we're not in studio. We decided to try something different, and we are actually joined by a very special guest. Jim, why don't you introduce him if you would?
So it's a good friend of mine from a much larger city that will go unnamed. This is Moose.
The statute of limitations may not be up yet, so
right. So Moose, can you tell
we're
us,
joined by Moose.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm taking in what you guys are delivering here. I know not to say the city that I'm from. So obviously, I won't say it. But anyway, it's a big city in southeastern Wisconsin. It's the biggest city in Wisconsin. Anyway, so Jim and I used to work together in the Marine Corps, right?
Yep.
I used to work for him. It was a hell of a situation. Had to work for this guy, but he was a good boss. But anyway, so I've known him for probably 20 some years.
Yes, at least.
Yes, and we've been coming here for every year around June for what we used to call Freedom Fest, but then we call it Olsen Fest. And there's a lot of beer consumed, so I think that's why I'm kind of a duty expert now.
What's kind of funny is you had me until you said he was a good boss, because I only have to work with him like an hour a week. And I know that's not true.
Well, I wanted to say he was a mean boss. I thought I'd be nice, since he's a host.
All right. Well, sorry, Jim. Just kind of give that.
But he was also my commanding officer.
Well, okay.
So he started off as my operations officer, and he came back as a commanding officer. Right? He was a much better commanding officer than operations.
So you're still under obligation.
A little bit.
Okay.
So
Cool.
Moose, I know that you didn't really touch on much. What style of beer do you really like?
Right. So if I have to go anywhere, I'm a Miller Lite guy, so I'm a Pilsner.
Sure.
Right? But I really like IPAs.
Okay.
But I don't like any IPA that has hazy or fruity. So the first thing I do when I go to a bar, I'm like, do you have any IPAs that are not fruity? And then more often than not, the bartender who's not IPA certified has no idea. So I have to try about 8 of them, which usually puts me well on my way. And then I can figure it out. But yes,
so that's a good
because once
call.
they crack it, you can't dump it out. Even if it was fruity, you got to finish it. But then you get something
absolutely.
different.
So that's what.
Well, you're in luck because today, Jim and I had talked about doing this before, and it's got hot out. So we're doing lighter beers. We're doing some Pilsners. I think the majority are Pilsners.
Yes.
Today. So it'll be interesting. We've never had them.
This is definitely, we're venturing, I think, out of our comfort zone because, we pulled up a little bit of the information on these and they're definitely different. So, I think just getting Moose's perspective on some of these is going to help us too because, any different way that anybody's listening to this, might help them if they're going to buy it or maybe not buy this beer. So it'll be good.
So the way it works is just to clarify, we're going to try the beer and then we're going to comment on.
Yep. Just give your opinion.
All right.
What you think of
easy
it.
Day.
So there have been a few beers where I've tried it before. While Mike was talking, I almost threw up in my mouth because they were not good.
Okay.
That's when it's sours, and Jim is kind of weak on sours.
So we're brutally honest in this podcast.
We're honest on the podcast.
Yeah,
okay.
We want to let the listeners know if it's a good beer or maybe not, or hey, this doesn't really taste good.
So you guys can say it tastes good. If I feel it tastes like swamp water, I can.
You can say
all right,
give your honest opinion.
All right. Well,
we have nothing over that's even remotely close to 10%, so it's not going to be in Jim's wheelhouse.
But I think another good point to mention, Mike, that I don't know if we touched on it before, is that this is your podcast, but are you paid by any beer company or brewery, or you receive any funds or input from anybody outside us two?
Not at this point, but I'm open for sponsorships.
all right.
So
no, this is purely our opinions. We do it because we love craft beer. We do it just to have a good time.
Right. So
that's why we do it.
We're not influenced by anybody giving us money to say something good or bad. It's just average guys sitting around a table tasting a beer.
Yep. The great thing about an opinion is it can never be wrong because it simply is yours.
Exactly.
Right.
Good.
All right.
So that's all it is.
Well, we're going to kick this off, and I said Pilsner. We're going to kick it off with a Radler, which is a little different. And I hope I pronounce this right. This is Gaffel, Gaffel, Gaffel Radler out of Germany, Cologne, Germany. And it's a shandy. Radlers is kind of the same thing. It's brewed in Cologne, Germany by Williams Brothers Brewing Company. And this is the crazy part, guys. It is 2% ABV.
2%.
What is ABV?
Alcohol by volume. So water, Mike, I'm guessing, is 0.
Mike, have we ever had anything below?
I think this is probably the lowest ABV, Jim, that I can ever remember us having. So this, we did a little research on it, and it says that this is a 40-60 mix of Gaffel, Kolsch, and lemonade. So Radler gets its name from German cyclist Xavier. I apologize. Xaver Kugler, Kugler.
Okay.
This beer is meant to be consumed while being active, sitting poolside, which doesn't seem like it's active, or enjoying a sunny day. The perfect thirst quencher.
I can smell some lemonade. Did you see what it said there? What a Radler is? I didn't even know what a Radler was.
Yeah, it's a 60-40 or 40-60 mix of a Kolsch and lemonade.
When I heard Radler, I think of like rattlesnake. They had a bite.
Right.
Okay.
It does have a lemonade smell.
So give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. That is actually very refreshing.
Wow.
I don't taste any alcohol at all.
No, I mean,
I taste a lemonade for sure.
That tastes like dangerously close to a lemonade.
Yes,
it does. But the good part is it does have foam. I mean, it does have head like a beer.
Now the can was a 16-ounce can. I don't know. It's kind of what's it got on it. It's like just blue, kind of a teal color with the name, and I don't know what it's like. Lemons, lemons for lemonade makes sense. This would be a lawnmower beer.
Wow, this is
ice cold.
This would be a beer my wife would drink, and she doesn't like beer, but it tastes so much like lemonade.
Yes, exactly.
So, I mean, I am like pleasantly surprised on how good it is. I mean, I was expecting when it said Radler and it's mixing different things together, I was expecting a little more, soda taste. But this, I mean, I do like another beer company's shandy that's similar to this, but this one tastes much better, in my opinion.
Well, to me, like a lot of the shandies out there, I'm not a big fan of, but most of them are 5%, a little bit higher alcohol, where, again, this is probably the lowest ABV beer I can think that we've ever had.
But I mean, I think I'm pleasantly surprised. I mean, granted, you do drink a beer because it does have alcohol in it, but if you are mowing and you want to have a few beers, I mean, this is probably the one that you'd want to take out with you.
Well, this beer feels like it'll almost sober you up.
Yeah. Yes.
Good call. That's it.
So you have a regular beer, you have this. You have a regular beer,
exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it
that is
way.
Wild. I mean, this is a lot better than I thought it was.
I don't know if we told you before, but our rating scale that we use is from 0 to 5 stars.
0 to 5 stars.
5 being the highest.
Yep, 2.5 is the average.
Right down the middle.
And are we doing it just on taste?
You're doing it on whatever it's your opinion.
Okay.
So Mike's average is right around
just under 3.
Just under 3. 3.0.
Okay, so I could do a 3.7.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
So do you want to start, or do you want us to start, or how do you want to?
Well, I'll start. And first I want to paint the picture, because I really thought that this was going to be like a shot glass of beer, but this is damn near a pretty good size sample here.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So I am not a fruity beer guy, at all. In fact, I stay away from it. However, I'm trying to take into consideration some of your listeners might be women. I would say when it comes to beer and the just pure taste and the hoppiness, that I would give this overall a 3.9.
Wow.
And it's probably higher than that, only because I don't like fruity beer. But it tastes not like beer. It tastes very like lemonade-ish. So, yeah.
Good opinion.
3.9.
I mean, I think the other part to echo what Moose said and continue on is there's not a bad aftertaste.
Correct.
The finish is really smooth. I am very pleasantly surprised. The only thing that I have as a drawback for it is it's only 2% alcohol. So granted, it's a good beer, it tastes good, they well crafted. I mean, everything it's checked every box that I like for a beer, but it's just low in alcohol. So, I mean, I'd have to unfortunately give it like a 2.6 or 2.7.
Okay.
But who brought up the lawn mowing analogy? This would be great mowing the lawn.
Well, that's one of our
kind of the way we talk about some of these later beers. And I agree with both of you, because to me it was very surprising. I was expecting, it's going to be either way over the top lemonade or just not good.
Right.
I think the flavor wise, it's pretty decent. I do agree with you, Jim. The ABV is really low, but you could have a couple of them and not even get phased. You know what I mean? And still do what you have to do. Honestly, I give this like a 3-1. Wow. I mean, just because, and it's crazy because the alcohol is so low, but I think there's a kind of a market out there or you're getting ready to do something, have one of these where it's hot out like today, and you won't be phased. So I'm impressed. Most German beers have a very distinct German flavor. This does not.
Well, and I was going to say, just for the listeners out there, this was from a build your own 6-pack cooler.
Oh,
So I did not see any other ones in the regular shelves or anything like that. This looked different, unique. I picked out one for a 6-pack just to say we've tried it. And this is one of those, again, you just never know, right, Mike? When you build your own 6-pack, what? I mean, you're rolling the dice because you've never had it. This is one of those that actually turned out good.
Yeah, I agree, Jim. I mean, I thought, again, like I said, when you sent me what you'd picked up and I saw it, I thought 2%. I was impressed. This did way better than what I was expecting. So good job. And like I said, on a hot day, like right now, I think it's good.
Hot. This
if we were sitting outside today,
I'd be grabbing.
Yeah.
Ice cold out of a cooler, that would be good.
Good call, Moose.
All right.
So you doing right in the first one? Is that okay? I mean, you're in there?
I think I'm in the groove here.
Right.
Now I get it.
All right.
I'm in.
So the next one we're going with is Happy Hour Pilsner. Now, the backstory on this, my brother belongs to a Beer of the Month club. So each month he gets like 4 different beers, and he saves one and gives it to me. So this was in there. So I've never tried it, hadn't even heard of them. So this is Happy Hour Pilsner by Peak Organic Brewing Company. And this is a Czech Bohemian style Pilsner. So it's 4.7% ABV. So, twice is what this last one was. So we'll be able to at least taste the alcohol in it, I would guess. Let's see. Their description was, Happy Hour is a masterfully designed Pilsner built to be crisp, clean, and crushable. I'm not sure what that means, but
going to ask that same question.
We will find out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
This beer is easygoing and pairs well with everything. Not just some things, everything.
Wow.
And
that's a big stretch.
Typically when you're in the marketing world,
bold.
Don't use absolutes. I think everything is an absolute. So we'll see.
So it's
everything
high now.
including another beer. That's weird. With this new Pilsner, it's always Happy Hour.
And the color is super light.
Oh, yeah.
You can see through it. I mean, if you look down through your glass, you can see
it smells like what you would expect a Pilsner to smell like.
Are we trying it? All right, here we go.
Ooh.
Now,
that kind of caught me off guard.
In this one's defense, we just came off of one that didn't taste like beer, and now we're getting it back into beer.
Right.
So it does definitely have a little bit of a different taste to it. It's not bad, though. It is crisp. I don't know about crushable, but it's crisp.
It's got the finish for me. I mean, it's sticking on my tongue. I don't know. There's a flavor that's stuck to my tongue after you get, it doesn't go away.
Yeah, I'm going to give you that exactly. But when I first tasted it, I was like, this is freaking incredible. This is a really good beer, but I can still taste it. That should have left my mouth by now.
Right.
But yeah, man.
And again, I think when I looked it up, I'm like, I don't know if we've had a beer from Maine.
If we have, it hasn't been many.
Right. So this is, I guess, a different.
And so this is
out.
Peak Organic Brewing Company, and their logo is kind of cool because it's the words Peak, organic, but then it's got like mountains in the background, so it's kind of a neat play on words. But it's Happy Hour, a crushable Pilsner.
That's the kicker right there. I can't figure out. Crush it means I want to just chug it. That's what I think when I'm going to crush this beer.
Slam it.
Right.
So this is rather interesting, Jim. Look on the side here. They have, here's the ingredients in the beer, and they have like a little, it almost looks like
like a wheel.
Well, it's almost like the stuff that you see on like the MSD sheets for chemicals, whereas here's the hops and here's the malt and stuff. So it's kind of neat. I haven't seen that on other cans before.
So I hope they weren't implying that when you get drunk, then rather than reading the words, you just look at
just look at the picture. It makes it easier.
Right. So, unfortunately for me, unfortunately, I'm not an expert on the Czech Bohemian Pilsner style.
I've had a number. It'll be interesting because we do have, I think one of them we have in there is a German style. So, we'll be able to kind of taste the difference of them. So I think each area has their own little nuances of what a Pilsner should be. I've had a number of different Czech, and they're all kind of this similar type of thing. Not exactly taste like it, but kind of a similar note. It's kind of what I remember for a Czech style Pilsner.
But I mean, for me, unfortunately, that flavor just it's a different. I guess maybe it's different. It's not bad. It's just different, and I'm not.
There is almost a what would you call it? It's not like, I'm thinking right on the finish. There's almost a bitter little component to it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I would want to chug this beer because it tastes very good at the initial drink.
The
more it lingers, the less appealing it becomes, which I think where it comes to crushable. You got to drink it fast.
Right.
That's what I'm guessing.
Maybe that's what I mean. Crushes quickly.
I think you're right. I think that's it.
But, again, you don't always want to slam your beer.
Correct.
So that's probably the big drawback for it. I mean, is it one you pour on a sink? No, but I don't know. I don't honestly know if I could drink more than one can of it.
It really lingers in your mouth, though. It really, really lingers.
Yes. It lingers more than most Pilsners, like your normal out there Pilsners. Between the two so far, I mean, you could, on a hot day, you could drink either of them, ice cold, but I still think the Radler is still easier. But again, this is...
Well, do you want to go first on the score?
I can. I mean, that little bit of a bitter in the finish kind of is a little bit off-putting. Initially, it's pretty good. I'm going 2.5. I mean, I'm going to say it's like an average Pilsner, especially for the style. I think it's average. We've had worse, had better, but I'm going 2.5.
Yeah, I'm close to you, but I think I'm actually going to go below average. I'm going to say 2.3. Just that the way that's mixed together. It's not horrendous. It's not bad. I'm just not a fan.
Okay.
What do you think, Moose?
Maybe I'm a high grader. I don't know. But if I wanted to chug a beer, that's the beer I'm chugging right there. Because if I'm thirsty and I want a beer flavor, I'm going after that one.
Nice.
But I probably won't have a second one. But the first one I'm taking down. So for that, I'm going to give it a little bit high. I'm going 3.1. I'm strangely comfortable with it.
Nice.
All right. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing about this. I mean, it's your opinion.
That's right.
So,
Mike, I don't know if Moose knows, how many beers have you rated so far?
I'd have to look for sure. It's over 4,300.
Oh my God!
So I'm
such a novice.
I'm almost out of the amateur phase.
So he's got he might have an opinion, but it's based on a few beers he's had.
So. Yeah, I've got
off of like 6 months worth of beer I've had. Yeah.
So that's a good one. So all right. So we did the happy hour. What do you got up next?
Next, I'm gonna jump to the Germans. Just that way, so we can kind of taste the difference. Yeah, the difference in it. And this is Rhinehart, a fine Pilsner.
Oh, that's the one I had difficult trying to find.
Yes, from Lakewood Brewing. Lakewood Brewing, 5.2%. So fine German Pilsner, light, easy drinker, good for old school light beer fans, which would be Jim.
There you go.
And Prost, of course. So this one is in a bottle, and now I give them kudos. The beer cap is kind of cool. I'll show you that first.
Nice.
It's got
right. Yeah.
The label doesn't it almost have like a steampunk kind of look to it or something?
I do like the label.
I mean that or like
what?
Something stinks, or just a real cool old. I don't know what you describe it. We'll take a picture and post it online.
Almost looks like one of those South American Indian.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a crop circle.
Yeah, it's a cool deal. I don't know what it is, but so we're going to try that next.
Well, she's definitely.
So this is
light yellow color.
This is a German style Pilsner. So we'll be able to compare the Czech style and the German style.
All right.
All right. So this is, again, Rhinehart, and it's by Lakewood Brewing.
Oh, Lakewood.
5.2%
Garland,
ABV.
Texas.
Oh, imagine that. Ooh, there's flavor or something going on there.
That definitely has more flavor.
That would caught me by surprise.
Compared to the Czech style, that is definitely different.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not a huge fan of that flavor.
This is LSD kind of beer.
That's my mistake.
No, but what is it?
That's coming up yet.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Here, use this one.
Oh,
I lined it out for you.
All right. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that would have made a difference.
So, did he do the same thing when you worked with him?
No, he just would yell at me.
All right.
So I did do a little bit of research on the brewery, and it does look like they've got 10 different beers on tap in their brew house.
Okay.
And it looks like they do some.
And they're out of what town are they out of?
Garland, Texas.
Garland, Texas. Okay.
And it looks like they got a couple in my wheelhouse here. A double stuffed Temptress, which is a imperial stout, 9.1. And then they got a s'mores Temptress.
Oh, dang.
Which is a milk stout, 9.1.
Wow.
So, and then it looks like they've got that Temptress on nitro too.
Okay.
In their brew house. So,
I'd have
I haven't been there. Yeah. I just throwing a little pitch out there.
We'll have to look, because I wonder, this could be the first beer we've had from Rhinehart. or from Lakewood. I'm sorry, Rhinehart Pilsner. So,
and again, unfortunately, I tried to look up. I don't know how the word Rhinehart ties to the type of beer.
Yeah, if there's some kind of connection to the brewery or something.
Yeah,
you don't get a more German name than the name Reinhardt. However,
good call. Maybe that's what it is.
It could be.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because it's a German Pilsner. But I mean, like for the average person may not understand, what the connection. And then, like you were saying, like the artwork on here doesn't really look German either.
It does not. No. It looks more Aztec. Aztec.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Or like an architectural drawing or something.
So you got the word Rhinehart on this design, which is cool.
Compared to the last one, the Czech style, this one does have a stronger flavor for sure.
Yes.
And I don't mind it. I just think that it's for some people it might be a little strong if they're not used to that.
Yeah.
The Czech style I think would be easier for a lot more people, but like I said, if you like German Pilsners, it's good.
But again, I think that hop, it's sticking in my tongue. It's like I can't get rid of the flavor. Like the finish just stays with you. It doesn't go away. Unfortunately,
this one is the last one would hang in my mouth. This one would stay an extra week.
Good call. Yeah.
I think I'm going to disappoint when I come around to the scoring on this one, unfortunately. And it's from Texas. And I love everything from Texas, but I'm going to disappoint on this one.
I mean, and I think, and like Mike said, I mean, we're trying something different.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not trying to stay in one category, one state, we're trying different stuff. It may not always be perfect to it.
Yeah. What I should say too, this was another one that came out of the Beer of the Month Club that my brother gave me. So again, I don't know how beers get in there. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure we've never had one from here before. And same with that Peak. That's the cool part. You get beers from different parts of the country you've never tried. But like I said, this one, and it's got to be the German style, has that more of a upfront, bigger flavor to it than what the Czech style is. I still think it's good, but I think it could be off-putting to some people.
Yeah. Should I start off?
You started off, Jim.
All right. Again, unfortunately, it's one of those. It's not a bad beer. It's not a horrendous beer. I just don't know if I could drink a whole bottle. I mean, it would take me some getting used to drink it. So I think I'm going to have to. I think this is a little bit lower than the previous one. I think I'm going to have to go 2-2 on this one. Moose, what do you think?
Well, I think the label throws me off because when I hear Rhinehart, and I remember we used to work with a Rhinehart, Captain Rhinehart, very German. So that the label's throwing me off, and the beer, I have to go probably about a 2.0 on this. I'm sorry, and it's from Texas, and it pains me because I love everything from Texas, but 2.0, unfortunately.
What did you go on it?
I went 2.2.
2.2. Now, I should have told you guys on the cap, it says seriously fun beer. Now, I don't know if that's going to change your vote. This was a seriously fun beer. Any change?
I mean, no, because I don't think I can choke down the whole beer.
Okay.
So how much do I have?
Personally, I'm going to go 2.4. I think it's for a German style, because I've had other German Pilsners, and that is very reminiscent of that. The stronger flavor lingers more. This one, to me, it did have that little bit of a clingy, hoppy finish to it.
Yeah.
So it kind of was a little, but I think overall it was decent, but I don't think on a hot day that you're going to go to that one because of the flavor is bigger.
Those first two, you could definitely be outside right now on a hot day drinking. Yep. The last one, I'm not so sure you could.
Right.
All right. What's in the new bag of tricks now?
All right, boys. We are going to Lakefront Brewery.
Oh, is that?
And I think that's in that town.
I know it well. I know exactly where it is.
So we are out of Pilsners. So now this has got to be another summer fun type beer.
All right.
This is Agave Sun Blue Agave Ale.
Ooh.
It is an ale brewed with premium blue agave nectar. And honey for crisp, bright refreshment. So as everyone knows, typically agave goes into tequila.
that right, Moose?
I have no idea. I don't know.
He's never heard of a tequila, has no recollection of that. So this should be, it's a 4.8%. So again, most of the ones we're doing right now are kind of that lighter, hot day type beers, what we thought anyway, at least when we looked in the beer fridge. So it's, it's supposed to be light bodied and refreshing. So we'll give her a whirl.
Is Citra like citrus?
Citra is typically hops. It's a Citra hop.
Oh, but not fruity. It doesn't mean fruity, like citrus. When I hear Citra, I think citrus.
Right. It's typically when people talk about Citra, it's a Citra hop.
Okay.
So it's a variation of a different kind of hop. Now, Jim, on the can it's like a blue can with yellow.
It doesn't look like a guy's face. He has the two eyes and a sun.
Well, kind of, but that's
like a sun.
But that looks like that's not an agave plant, though. That's like
is it two eyes from the guy? Right.
It looks like an angry sun.
Yeah, it's like an angry sun, or like some kind of a weird two-topped dandelion or something.
Like it's 90 degrees outside right now. That's what the sun would look like.
Yeah, like it's angry. It is angry.
Uh-oh. There's a smell.
That's the honey. That smells like a honey beer.
Boy.
I don't know.
It doesn't taste like tequila.
Mas tequila.
This is one of those beers where you have to have several sips to really get a grip on this one.
That is different. That is really different. It's got I can pick up the honey, because most of your honey beers have that same kind of a distinct taste, but I don't know. We haven't had a lot of agave beers, so I don't know if it's how the agave is playing with the honey, so to speak.
So this is going opposite for me, where the last two beers where the first initial taste was good and then it kind of fell off. This is the opposite. The first initial is like, I'm not feeling it. And then
I think you're right. I think you're right.
The more I'm starting to get comfortable with it.
I think you're right, because the same thing, the initial taste to me is like,
So if you had to put your finger, what is the flavor?
Blue agave and honey.
So for the listener, that's where I'm struggling. Yeah. I don't know what this flavor is. It's not horrendous. It's not horrible. I just don't know what that.
Right.
It's definitely not tequila.
No,
it's not Patron. It's not any tequila based thing. But
see, like I said, we have not had very many beers that have had agave in them at all.
Right.
So I don't know if the flavor is more of the agave or what. Because on the finish, I do get that honey kind of a thing.
I think that the honey does smooth it out. It smooths
it, but that's all I can guess. Maybe is it's the blue agave. That's what we're tasting. But I just don't have enough of these type of beers that I've tried to know what that taste is up front.
This is the first beer that I've had where I'd want another one.
Really?
Right.
Wow.
Yep.
I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could throw my hat in the ring for that one. That's a big leap. I don't know if I could do that though. I'm just struggling with the flavor. That's my only drawback. Not that it's a bad flavor, but it's just.
Well, like I said, I'm usually not a big fan of honey beers. I like meads,
right?
But honey beers are typically got a weird taste to me. But this one, it doesn't have that much of a weird taste. But I wonder, is that the agave that's kind of killing the honey part of it a little bit? I don't know, but at the finish, I can pick up some honey.
Right.
But again, all I can guess is it's the blue agave that we're tasting on the front side, because it is, like you said, it's a weird start.
Yes.
And then it mellows as you sit, as it lingers in your mouth after you swallow it, and it's not bad, but it's confusing a little bit.
On a hot summer day and you're like, I want some beer. Would that label not jump off as like, that looks like the beer?
Right.
This is
made for the sun.
Yeah, really.
You look at the can and go, that sun looks angry. I'm going to drink that beer because that beer is going to quench the angry sun.
Yeah,
exactly.
So then let's have you start off, Bruce. What do you think for a score on this?
This is my highest score. I'm going 4-1.
Wow.
Yeah,
he is
4-1.
He is hammered drunk right now.
No, I'm just telling you, it's the first beer that I've had on this taste test that I was like, I want another agave sun. Yep.
I think I'm not sold on the flavor. I'm in it, but it's not bad. I'm going to stick in the middle, 2.5. Keep it easy.
Yeah, I'm the same with you, Jim. It's again for me, I'm not a big honey beer fan, and I do get that kind of that honey aftertaste a little bit, but I'm confused. Is the blue agave what we're tasting up front? If we knew that's what it was, then it's like, okay, then you're kind of prepared for it. But I just don't know. And it does have for me, it's got a little bit of a weird finish. So,
is there a red agave or a green agave, or is it only blue? I mean, what's the blue?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Good. See, point to ponder.
Yes, there you go.
But
So
you know
Mike,
I like
see?
blues, so.
Yeah. So Mike,
blues is
you had a
covered.
2.5 before. Do you want to? You have a 2.4 and a 2.5. Do you want to keep it at 2?
No, I'm keeping it at 2.5.
All right. So you don't want to differentiate between.
No, because at the end we'll
All right.
discuss what we liked, which ones, and
Okay.
just because they
Just wanna
scored
make
the
sure.
same doesn't exactly mean that I felt they were the same.
It's obvious that if I was a teacher and you were a student, you'd want to be in my class because I'm a high grader.
Grade on a curve. Okay, boys, we've been saving this one because I'm not sure what to make of it.
Uh-oh.
This is by Indeed Brewing Company. Lavender, sunflower, honey, dates.
So
And it's
What-
a honey ale.
So Mike, what does that stand for?
Well, they cut out one of the words and they call it LSD.
Ooh, I've never had LSD.
No. So this is a first for all of us. I believe, right, Moose?
Absolutely.
All right. Now, this bad boy is 7.2%.
Ooh.
So it's the highest one that we had on this one.
All right.
So here, their little write-up on this beer was that LSD is a one-of-a-kind beer. A unique blend of lavender, sunflower honey, and dates is unparalleled in funky, complex flavor. Their head brewer strikes a delicate balance with this beer. It's herbal, earthy, and floral without trending into bubble bath territory. Not even close. So that's a good thing. It doesn't taste like bubble bath.
Bubble bath.
This beer pairs naturally with dessert. 3 particularly honey-based confections.
So Mike, just while I was doing some research on this,
Mhm.
I typed in the beer name, and it's unique for the company. I've never seen this before, and all the times we've been looking these up, but it has a full page
Really?
It's just on this individual beer. So indeed, on each one of their beers, they do a full write-up on it.
Huh.
So I thought that was unique. I mean,
That's cool, yeah.
So I mean, even if you've never had the beers before, you can go out there and you can check the
So,
website.
if you look at the can, it definitely has a Woodstocky,
It's
hippie
purple, yeah.
kind of. The
Purple.
artwork is
Yep.
like a man and a woman. Looks almost like a Grateful Dead person, the guy. But you know what I mean? It's kind of that trippy, what you would think of when you think of LSD. So,
That's a good call.
yeah, it's a purple can, big white flower, and then these people on there. So, I mean, I give them credit. Their artwork is really fits right.
Woodstock and what was
Oh, that's what's his name from?
the Grateful Dead.
There you go.
It looks like Jerry
That is
Garcia.
exactly.
That's what I was
this looks like.
thinking, yeah.
Jerry, what's his name?
Jerry Garcia.
Garcia.
There
yeah.
you go.
Yep.
Yep.
Wow.
That's just my opinion, but that's kind of
Yeah,
what it
that's
looks
exactly.
like.
It screams it. Yep.
Wow.
There's not much of a smell.
There's a smell to it, though.
I think I might have just tooted.
This first sip captured everything. I could summarize this in 3 words.
Does it match what it says in the write up there, Moose, or is it different?
I'm just telling you that tastes like one thing for one holiday that would go perfect with that. Other than that, I'm not sure. But I'll wait my turn.
No, you got my attention now.
Yeah,
I'd like to hear
I'm
what
not
you're
sure.
going to say.
I can't figure out the flavor.
Okay, it tastes like pumpkin pie to me. Taste it.
Really?
Wow.
I don't get pumpkin. I get definitely
Oh my gosh.
an herbal something. It tastes like herbs.
Herbs.
Yeah.
You got some
No.
herbs.
I taste
you know
turkey and right before pumpkin pie or right after. This is it. This one is.
I actually thought, and I'm not a big sunflower guy, but I actually thought that was a sunflower flavor. I thought that was, I could be wrong. I mean, again, I'm not an expert. I have had, I do like sunflowers, but.
I definitely get the honey. The lavender, that's the floral note that we've had some beers with lavender in it, and they all have that kind of a weird flower taste.
But is this?
I don't know about dates, though. I don't know if I'm getting a date.
This doesn't taste like heather, though, does it?
No, not like
sounds
heather.
like prunes, and I'm not a big prune juice guy.
Well,
when you say sunflowers, I mean, other than sunflower seeds, what are you eating with sunflowers?
you know
It tastes
what?
like sunflowers.
Jim eats a lot of weird things.
I've never seen.
I'm trying to stretch out everything I can on this one.
This does have a little bit of a sweetness to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
A little bit of a sweetness. That must be the honey, or maybe the dates fall in there too. But it does have a little bit of it's a very complicated flavor.
can we call a date a prune or a prune a date, or are they different?
It all depends on the day.
Oh, good. Well said.
Is this number 2 going day, or is this not number 2 going day?
I'm not sure. That's the personal thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, that is a different flavor.
Oh, yeah. That one's taking a toll on me. I'm
It's a good toll or a bad toll?
I'm probably going to have to freaking lower my grading average on this one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't. When Jim said he had that, I was like, okay, we got to try it. I had no idea what the can looked like. The can artwork is pretty trippy.
It is.
And they're playing off the LSD.
Yes.
On the can, I mean, that trippy kind of thing.
Tying it all together. So I mean,
now, do we have to wait like 10 more minutes before to grade this thing? Could the LSD effect? I don't know.
Good question. You're another good point to ponder. I don't know.
Did you see that big elephant that just walked through here?
No, he didn't. He was floating. He was floating, not walking.
I don't know. This one is very confusing, just because I think it's a really complicated flavor, and they may have tried to put too much in it.
But I mean, if there is a positive slant to it, 7.2%,
Mm-hmm.
it is almost double everything else we've had. It might even be triple on the one. So is it a little higher in alcohol? But again, God.
that came back up on you.
Oh,
that one came up.
That's not a good grade.
Was it smooth or was?
No, it was chunky. Yeah. I'm just torn trying to figure out what.
I'm trying to be generous, but I can't get pumpkin pie and Thanksgiving out of my head. So yeah,
it is definitely a different. I don't know if we've ever had anything with those ingredients.
How do you guys not taste that pumpkin pie? You don't taste it?
We have pumpkin beers.
We've had a squash beer too.
Oh yes. Squash beer was not good. I
would really want listeners to taste that and go, do I taste pumpkin pie? Or is it just that idiot on that freaking podcast?
No, well, that's a good thing. I mean, because people are listening and they can't smell it. So, I mean, that's
right.
And each of us has a different way of looking at this. I mean, it's
different palate.
Yep.
Mike, you want to go first?
I can go first. It's very confusing to me. It has a sweetness, but then it's got just all sorts of stuff going on. Would I want more of it? Not really. I'm going to go like a 2.4, just a little below average. I don't think it's a horrible beer, but I think they got too much going on.
So you already had another 2.4.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
I have my order in mind already.
So I think for me, this is, again, like in your same direction, below average. And I'm going to go 2.1. I think this, for me, might be my bottom beer for not bad beer, just probably the worst one we had today. Goose, what do you got?
Other than the can, because I really do like the can, because I'm a big Grateful Dead fan. But it's the first beer that I was like, I can't finish that. I'm not ready for Thanksgiving yet. It's the beginning of summer. Right. I don't want to think about that. And that's just sticks in my head. So I got to go 2.1 as well. I'm sorry.
You managed
not feeling one.
That's Mike. Yeah. Just so you know, that's the first time we've all been within like 0.3 for scoring.
Well, and I mean, I could easily went down like that too, because I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. But the flavor to me was not. It was confusing and it was kind of. So
all right, we're coming up on our last one. Is it?
No, that's it.
I thought we have checking there. I think we got one more, don't we?
Oh, geez. Yeah. I missed one.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That didn't sound like Wisconsin.
Oh,
geez.
So here's the deal. The LSD threw me off. So
you weren't ready for this.
I was not ready for this.
Having its effect.
Boy. I tell you what.
Now, what's the name of that one?
I don't even know anymore now. I'm just totally off my game. This is Strong Friend Moves. It's a hoppy Pilsner.
A hoppy Pilsner.
So I lied. I thought we were done with the Pilsners, but we have one more.
Wait, Moose might like this, and he likes hoppy.
Strong Friend Moves.
This might be right up my alley.
Hoppy Lil Pilsner. Extra crispy style, brewed with North Star Pils malt from the North Star State.
The North Star State.
So that would be Minnesota.
Oh, wait, look down there. I think it's Minneapolis.
Yep. Did it say 4.5%?
Nice.
So this will be. And it's
you already finished everything on there? I put a little more on there.
Let's see. We love Pilsners. You might know that by now. We also love the diversity you can find inside what feels like such a tight little beer style. You've got big malty Czech style beers. You've got hoppy AF
Ooh, AL.
See, Northern German ones. You've got corny, heavy, pre-prohibition American ones. The list goes on. Strong Friend Moves sits in what we'd call the extra crispy category of Pilsners.
Extra
hoppy
crispy.
enough to have good snap, but not enough to make it sit heavy on the palate. So sounds okay.
All right.
Crisp as the day is long, but without bringing corn into the mix. I don't know what that means. Balanced in all things, but biased towards repeatability.
Oh, ouch.
Why do I not think of the Japanese attacking Pearl Harbor when I look at it?
That's a weird
It
logo
is.
Yeah.
on there. There's hops going on in there.
Is this? I'm trying to figure out. So it's an extra crispy Pilsner. So it's not a German, not a Czech, not an American. It's an extra crispy, whatever style. I don't know what that falls into.
I can taste the crisp. That'd be exactly the word that I would describe that beer. It is very crisp. Like it lets your taste buds know it's there immediately.
Yeah, this is like, for me, it's super hoppy. For a Pilsner, I've never had a Pilsner this hoppy.
See, I'm a hoppy guy.
I will give him this. This does not have that heavy, like the German flavor.
Yes.
The Czech flavor was a little different as well, but this for sure is not German and it's not Czech. So whatever this hoppy.
But I mean, for a Pilsner, have you ever had a Pilsner that was this hoppy?
Honestly, Jim, to me, it doesn't taste that hoppy. My opinion.
And Jim, it does say hoppy Pilsner. So if you buy it and you don't like hoppy.
Well, no, again, we're trying to branch out. I just need some sandpaper with it so I can clean my tongue off.
So here again, you remember, Jim only reads part of what's on the can.
Oh.
So if it's down to the bottom, he probably didn't get that far.
That's right.
To me, I'm not a big fan of it. It's just too hoppy for me. I don't know.
Jim, I don't get a lot of the hoppy though.
Yeah.
I think it's.
Did you get the same class?
When I think hoppy, I think IPA and
Correct.
an IPA.
Correct.
Yeah, this is right. This could be an IPA. If you took the word Pilsner off,
Let me tell you, this is a good crossover. This is like a mountain bike that's half mountain bike and half road bike that is Pilsner and IPA. If you like both, this is your beer.
Oh, I agree because like I said,
that's a good way
to
to
me.
put it.
This is nowhere near like an IPA for
Really?
hoppy, not at all.
Oh my gosh!
I just think that, like I said before, the first thing that struck me was that's not a German Pilsner. It's not a Czech Pilsner, so it's its own little thing.
Niche.
Am I saying it's unbelievably good? I'm not saying that, but to me, it's not over hoppy at all.
Oh boys, you must have missed the boat on this one. I don't know. I can taste hops. I can smell hops. My tongue, I need sandpaper to clean it off. This is like not in my wheelhouse at all.
We're going to do this the Democratic way.
Oh.
How many people think Jim's crazy? Oh, 2. How many think Jim's not crazy? Oh, 1. 2-1, we win.
This is not a good beer, guys.
Please let me go first on this one because I think I have it nailed.
All
Okay,
right.
Go ahead.
So I drink 2 types of beer. Miller Lite, which is Pilsner as it gets.
No, it's a fine Pilsner.
Fine Pilsner.
That's what it says on the can.
And I drink IPAs. This is the absolute down the middle, happy medium of both of them.
Really?
If I ever find this beer served at another bar, that's where I'm going. Because it's the perfect blend of both what I like.
Wow.
So I'm going 4.7 on this one.
Wow.
The only thing I don't like is the labeling.
I have to sit down. That's higher than any beer we've ever rated.
I'm new. I'm telling you.
Folks, just remember, Moose is new, so his taste buds are popping right now. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the crazy thing, it's my last beer. I should be beered out.
Right.
And I still would have that go,
Yeah.
I want another one of these.
Well, here's another thing, Moose. Just so the listeners know, this was on a build your own 6-pack that I found at a local community. I just grabbed it, put it in my 6-pack. I didn't know what it tasted like. Would you have known that was going to be a good beer just by looking at the can?
No, but I'm taking a photo of it because I'm really enjoying that beer. So
Jim, what do you think of it? I'm thinking Jim's going to give it slightly lower than a 4.7.
I thought we had the worst beer last time, but I'm going to have to go at 1.9.
Are you serious?
Oh, my stomach hurts already. God, this is not a good beer. It's too hoppy for me.
And I say this
over the top.
I say this with all due respect. I always heard, Marines could eat things that would make a billy goat puke.
Yeah.
Except for Jim. I don't know. So you went at 1.9?
I want a 1.9.
See, I'm definitely in between you guys.
Yeah, you're right. This is the final judge right here.
To me, this is not over hoppy at all. To me, it is a crisp kind of a flavor. Like I said, I like all this the German style, but the German style is a heavier, denser flavor. The Czech style isn't quite that. This is not that, but I give this a 3.
Wow.
I think that
Knuckles.
I think this is it's above average to me. And would I have it again?
That's his highest grade.
All right,
that's Mike's highest grade, just so you know.
So Moose,
I'm surprised.
So at this point now we've finished our beers. So now we're going to kind of do just a short recap.
Sure.
Just like, what are your top 3 beers from today? What do you think are the top 3? Or you can maybe say top 2 or top 1. And what did you like about that beer?
Okay, well, if I ever find that beer, which I've never seen before in my life, that's what I'm getting. Because I'm a Pilsner and
which one is that? Which one did you like?
That would be the what is that called?
Strong Friend Moves.
Is
Strong
that the name
Friend
of the beer?
Moves.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Had I known that was the name, I would have subtracted 0.4 points for that. I'm not a fan of the can. I'm not a fan of the name, but the taste by far my number 1.
All right. So do you have a number 2 or number 3, or is it just that one is so far above everything else? The rest are just kind of.
No, I mean. My lowest one would be, unfortunately, the Rhinehart. I mean, I'm
okay.
So,
Okay.
All right.
But man, I'm really digging this beer. I took a picture of the can. Yeah, if you are, for the listeners, if you like IPAs but you also like Pilsner, this is your mix right here.
Wow.
So,
all right. Opinion. Very good. Very good. I mean, for me, again, all of my ratings today were between 2.6 and 1.9. So within 0.7 across the board for me. I'm not saying that all of them were bad or any of them were bad. I just don't think I could drink a full can or bottle of any of them. I tried to do my best today. And again, I like Pilsners. I mean, I'm not or ales. I like both of them. I'm not against or opposed to those in any way. Unfortunately, the ones that we picked today, I wasn't a big fan of any of them.
Sure.
But the one I liked the best was the first one we had. That Gaffel Radler.
Yep.
I mean, it tasted good. I mean, I wish I would have another chance to drink a little bit more of that one because it tasted good to me. So that's probably, I mean, it's one. I mean, they're all like incrementally lower than that one, but for me, that's kind of where I head for the best one.
Sure. And for me, honestly, and I know sometimes when you get done, what you scored them at the time may not match up with, but and so I'm not going to go 1, 2, 3, but I'll say the top 3, and I'm not going to go in any particular order. Honestly, I did like the Radler. Mm-hmm. That one surprised me. I did like the German Pilsner because I've had a lot of German Pilsner. I'm part German, so, my heritage. So I do like that one. But this last one surprised me. I mean, I really like that. I thought it was very good. I did not think it was over hoppy at all. It was a different style of a Pilsner that kind of surprised me. And the other ones, I think they were just, would I say any of them were bad? No, I think, again, like I said before, the LSD one was just confusing to me. I just didn't know how to take that. And a little bit the same with the Agave. I wish I knew if we had more Agave beers, so I could have told that's what we were tasting. Yep. Then it would have been, okay, that's what it is. But yeah, I think overall, these are good, hot summertime beers, and I think everybody could enjoy them. And it just depends on what you're looking, do you want a stronger flavor, a lighter flavor? And, but like I said, that honestly, the Radlers that shocked me. And again, it's weird because it's 2% ABV. Mm-hmm. We've never had a 2% ABV beer.
Nope.
And it was very refreshing. So maybe it's because it was lower. I don't know. But that's the way I saw it.
All right. Well, and I really appreciate Moose.
Oh, for sure, man.
Hey, and joining us today. I hope you didn't mind trying a few different beers of this. I mean, we're just two average guys finding some beers, taste them, and trying to tell people about them. Nothing that's gonna we're not like rocket science. We're not like measuring anything.
Well, speak for yourself, Jim.
Oh, I'm definitely not.
Well, let me summarize by when you guys say, "Would you come on the podcast?" What's the podcast about? Sampling beers, I'm in.
Yeah, it's weird. It's people are always leery until you say you get to drink beer. Okay, I'm in. No problem.
No, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed sampling those beers. I think they were all good beers, but I'm glad I stuck to my
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you having
Very much so, and you're always welcome to come back.
All right. I'll be back next week.
All right, that works for us. All right, well, hey, everybody, again, Jim, would you like to say something?
No, as I say, this has been a great time. I mean, even though it's hotter than heck outside, these beers tasted good, and I'm glad we had a chance to drink some different beers.
Exactly. So, folks, we will see you next week. I guess talk to you next week.
Yeah.
And as always, we hope your beers are cold and your campfires are warm.
Yeah. Prost.
Thank you for listening to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. If you have a question, a comment, or a beer you'd like us to review, please feel free to send us a message at northwoodsbeerguy@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Untappd, look up Northwoods Beer Guy and send a friend request. Until next week, I hope all your campfires are warm and all your beer is cold.